Let me ask you something real quick. How did people with no wheels, no machines, and no metal tools move stones that weighed as much as a small truck across an entire country? Because that's exactly what happened with the Bluestones of Stonehenge. And once you understand how it was done, this stops being a mystery and starts feeling like one of the biggest human flexes in history. You're watching History of Questions, where we break down impossible moments from the past and actually explain how they happened. Now let's get into it, because the moment you hear where the Bluestones came from, your brain should immediately go, no way. The smaller stones at Stonehenge didn't come from nearby fields or local hills. They came from the Preseli Hills in Wales, over 140 miles away, and each one weighs between 2 and 4 tons. That distance is brutal even today, and prehistoric people decided to move dozens of these stones on purpose. Not once, not accidentally, but again and again across land and water, with nothing but human planning and raw effort. Here's where the story instantly gets misunderstood, because for years people thought glaciers did the hard work. The theory said Ice Age glaciers dragged the stones close to Stonehenge, and humans just reused them later. Sounds convenient, right? Except the glaciers never reached that far south. The stones are too geologically specific, and the quarry sites in Wales show clear signs of human extraction. These stones weren't dropped off by nature. They were chosen, cut, and moved intentionally, which means someone decided they were worth the pain. Extracting the stones was already a nightmare before transportation even began. Prehistoric workers used stone hammers, wooden wedges, and fire to weaken the rock face. They would heat the stone, cool it rapidly with water, and slowly crack pieces free over long periods of time. This wasn't quick work. It took days or weeks for a single stone. And yet they kept going, which tells us this project wasn't optional. It mattered deeply. Once a stone was freed, moving it over land became the next problem. And this is where teamwork took over. The most likely method involved placing the stone on a wooden sledge and rolling it across logs laid underneath. As the stone moved forward, logs were picked up from behind and placed back in front, creating a slow, controlled motion. This required coordination, rhythm, and leadership, because one mistake could mean crushed limbs or worse. Experimental archaeology shows this method works, but only if everyone moves together. But dragging stones across rough terrain for 140 miles isn't realistic the whole way, so water transport probably did a lot of the heavy lifting. The stones were likely hauled to rivers or coastlines and loaded onto simple wooden rafts. Water reduces friction massively, allowing even heavy stones to float if balanced correctly. These rafts likely followed rivers and hugged coastlines rather than heading into open seas. It wasn't safe, it wasn't fast, but it was doable. And let's be honest, things definitely went wrong. Rafts probably sank, stones may have been lost, and people almost certainly died during these journeys. What matters is that they didn't stop. The project continued over generations, meaning failure didn't cancel the mission. That level of persistence only comes from belief that the stones mattered more than the risk. Quick pause here. If you're enjoying this breakdown and want more questions that sound impossible until you really think about them, subscribe to History of Questions. This channel exists to explain how humans pulled off things they had no business accomplishing. Once the stones reached southern England, the struggle wasn't over. Dragging them inland across uneven ground meant building temporary wooden trackways to stop the stones from sinking into mud. Teams had to clear paths, stabilize routes, and adjust constantly to terrain changes. By the time a stone arrived at the Stonehenge site, it already represented thousands of combined labor hours. This was prehistoric logistics at a level most people never imagine. Raising the stones upright was another engineering challenge entirely. The most accepted method involved digging a slope pit, tipping the stone upright using ropes, and then packing the hole with rubble to lock it in place. No lifting straight up, just leverage, gravity, and patience. This method still works today and explains how massive stones can be stood upright without machines. Watching it happen would have felt like controlled chaos. What surprises many people is that Stonehenge wasn't finished once the stones were placed. Archaeological evidence shows the Bluestones were rearranged multiple times over centuries. That means Stonehenge evolved as beliefs, rituals, and leadership changed. Each generation respected the work enough to keep modifying it rather than abandoning it. This wasn't a single construction project, it was a living monument. Another quick check-in. If this is making you rethink what primitive really means, drop a like and comment your theory on why these stones mattered so much. And don't forget to subscribe to History of Questions for more moments where history turns out way smarter than we expect. Another quick check-in. If this is making you rethink what primitive really means, drop a like and comment your theory on why these stones mattered so much. And don't forget to subscribe to History of Questions for more moments where history turns out way smarter than we expect. When you zoom out, the biggest revelation isn't how the stones were moved, it's who moved them. These were organized communities capable of long-term planning, engineering, and shared purpose. Stonehenge isn't evidence of aliens or lost super tech. It's proof that humans were already extraordinary when they believed something was worth building. And that's the real answer to how the Bluestones were moved from Wales. Slowly, painfully, deliberately, and together. Stonehenge is frozen effort, locked into stone. Every block is a reminder of what humans can do when belief outweighs convenience. If you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe to History of Questions, because history isn't just about what happened. It's about what it reveals about us. I'll see you in the next question.